Good afternoon and welcome to match number 35 of the I-League 2023-24. It is a promising but struggling NEROCA FC who take on Real Kashmir at the Kalyani Municipal Stadium. We hope for an exciting clash here, and the I-League is often running well now, but NEROCA were struggling to find wins. Eventually found their first win in the previous fixture against Namdari. Real Kashmir, we know their strengths and weaknesses by now. They've got wins, they've got losses, a mixed bag of results. There's the dressing room of NEROCA. Few familiar names for NEROCA fans and a few more introductions this season coming in, all impressing. And their home ground this season in the Kalyani Stadium has been a little difficult for them to adjust here, but then they'll hope to carry forward their winning run. We'll hear it from the head coach, Jacob Joseph, how he approaches this game.
Okay, today we are against Real Kashmir. They mean I'm putting all our local player, Indian player. They mean I'm not putting on foreigner. I got a 5 foreigner, but I give them chance around 4 games, and we never get the result. They mean last game we again Namdari, we put a local player, then we got a result. They mean the same player, maybe 1 or 2 changes. They mean I hope the player will give 100% against Real Kashmir, and we try to get a point.
And there's the dressing room for Real Kashmir with the away blues away from home, the Snow Leopards. A few of them have been very, very impressive. The likes of Shahir Shaheen, Jeremy Laljanpoya and Krizu up front would look to fire, and their team rival earlier in the day. I wonder how they will approach this game with Ishfaq Ahmed, the all-experienced man in charge. We had a word with him as well. Let's hear out what he has planned for today.
We are prepared for the match, and let's have a good match. Both the teams are good teams, and I hope a good entertaining football match.
Well, speak less, walk more is probably what Ishfaq Ahmed has in his mind. But NEROCA have work to do. But they do not want to fall at the bottom at this stage of the league. And we'll have a look at the lineups of the teams. What we understood from Jacob Joseph's word is that they're most probably going with an Indian 11. Very interesting. But then they want the 3 points confirmed. And they're going with their intuitions a bit. Soram Poiri on goal, the captain for the side. And there's Rohit Mete, Shurjit Shil, Ronaldo and Rakesh Mete in defense. Aniket Pachal, Shajal Bag, David Singh and Tarak Hembram, the 4 in midfield, and Sushil Mete up front. The bench is set as well from Jacob Joseph, the head coach. I have with me Steve Leon. Take us through that lineup as well.
Yes, thank you very much for having me here again. Let us see in the meantime first what Real Kashmir has to offer us in this starting lineup. But of course we have had a little bit of a surprise already from Coach Jacob Joseph stating that he will be playing without foreigners. We'll have it a little bit further inside the game. We'll talk about this also.
Well, it is sometimes an issue, but Real Kashmir have coped up with situations lately. Muhid starts on goal. Shahir Shaheen with Muhammad Hamad, the captain. In the back line with Haider Yusuf and Dion Menezes. In the midfield, we have Mohamed Inam, Jeremy Laljanpoya and the Portuguese Carlos Lomba. Asrar Wehbar Krizo and Kamal Issa from Ghana form the front 3. Pretty aggressive from Real Kashmir, Steve.
Yeah, indeed. They are playing with quite some strength up front, have the experience in the back. So a team that is at the moment well oiled after their 2 last wins and expecting to go forward and try to get another 3 points, which put them around the 5th, 6th position in the league. So Kashmir is eager to come here, but of course it's a home match for NEROCA, who wants to get an extra 3 points also.
And that is one leap that will be in the minds of Real Kashmir and their fans. They're at 9th right now, but one win can take them to 6th or even 5th, depending on the goal difference and all. But they started with a 2-0 win against Rajasthan United at home. And that is how they go with things at Kashmir, and then a 1-0 against Strauss. Solid start. Jeremy scored in that game. Today's match officials, meanwhile, referee Mithun Kumar Kundu with assistant referees Saurav Sarkar, Bishu Dash, and fourth official Thor match commissioner for today's game is Imran Khan. And as I was saying about their those two wins at home to start with, and then Churchill with a surprise in Kashmir, beating them 3-1. And after that, they went away from home, and that issue, which they generally face away from home, has started with a 1-0 loss against Namtari. And the two teams are making their way onto the pitch with hopes and motivation to rise from that bottom spot.
Indeed, for NEROCA right now and for Kashmir, both of them needs to start getting extra points. They don't want to start looking too much behind them. So this is an equally important match for both teams. A lot of these players also in both teams have been playing in this stadium before, because a lot of them have been acting in Kolkata Premier League. So they know the environment, they know how to play. If I see Shaheen here, I see Krizo on the other side, Taruk Hembram, Surajit Seal, those are all players who've played in the stadium. So they know the place, they know how it is. But of course, right now we are not in Kolkata Premier League, we are in I-League, and both of them want to get the 3 points moving up the table.
Different stage, different emotions, and the same qualities will be hoped to be brought on by these players. A few of them you mentioned, some of them locals as well. Shajal Bak, and then Shurajit Sheel, Taruk Hembram as well, have got the experience. That is a little edge NEROCA have with their other club from Manipur, Trau. They're not having that little edge, but then it is almost a similar situations. NEROCA started with 2 losses, and big losses, 4-0 against Srinidhi, 4-1 against Kokulam. And that was the match they scored their first goal, and then a draw against Shillong Lechong. Another loss. They were struggling really to find that elusive first win, but finally the same opponents whom Real Kashmir lost against Namtari is whom they beat to find their first 3 points. 2-1 against Namtari. Does that play a role in their mind?
Yeah, I'm sure every result that you get or every previous match, it always puts into your mind if it was a loss or a win. You want to have that good feeling going into matches. And right now, as we've seen, the coach has made a big decision in going without foreigners. But also, I'm used to it. I've worked with teams who play without foreigners also. These are choices that you make because you have a certain feeling that the players, whoever is in your team, can get you those 3 points. And he made a decision here to play not using any of the foreigners and having the confidence in these players, like you were saying in the meeting also. So let us see how it's going to work out for them, and let us see how the match is going to go.
Well, 3 points is very crucial, and those 2 players on your screen you saw with the toss, Muhammad Hamad, the captain of Real Kashmir, and Soram Poiri on goal. He's leading the NEROCA FC side. They know the importance of these 3 points. NEROCA are in 10th position, just a position below Real Kashmir, but then 2 points separating them. Still early stages in the league, and 3 points can just change the entire complexion. More for Real Kashmir, but a little for NEROCA, but then better than another loss.
And for Kashmir, they still have a match in hand. Let us not forget that. So indeed, they are 2 points before, but if they win that game or they win this game, they can go 5 points ahead. So we need to see, not every team yet has the same equal amount of points or equal amount of matches played, which is logical if you have not equal amount of teams into your league. So some teams will have more, some teams will have less, and it's always a little bit of a league table that is not correct, with seeing some teams have 4, some teams have 6 matches already. It makes a little bit of a change inside the league table.
Well, it'll all be gradually balanced up. Jacob Joseph has gone with his mastermind plan. Let's see if it works. But NEROCA didn't have a promising start, but they're ever so eager to find 3 more points and make it 2-2, while the Snow Leopards, even though mighty strong but away from home, are at times vulnerable. Well, anything is possible. The hills meet the plains. It's NEROCA against Real Kashmir.
I think we're going to see from the beginning a little bit what the game plans are. I see a medium block from NEROCA, swifting from left to right with 2 players up front, so it's not really a 4-3-3 or 4-5-1 as we saw in the beginning of the screen. It's more of a 4-4-2 with maybe one of the players dropping in a little bit.
We'll find out as the game grows. There's one man with plenty experience in the Indian football circuit, Ishfaq Ahmed. He's in charge of Real Kashmir. We'll find out gradually as the season progresses how he has worked with his team, and his players are local as well for Real Kashmir, and that gives the emotional connect for the fans and the local players. But just for information, it's Real Kashmir in blue attacking from right to left of your screens in the first half, and NEROCA in their orange from left to right. Taruk just trying to control that.
One of the first moments that NEROCA has the ball a little bit, so let us see what they are going to do. We've seen already with Kashmir, they're trying to play out from the back, let that ball go around. We've not seen too much yet from NEROCA, so give us a little bit of time to give some more insights on the way of play, on the style of play, what they want to do, and then we can go deeper into detail.
The Real Kashmir bench, they look motivated, and as I mentioned, they have some problems somehow when they travel away from home. We've seen in the previous seasons as well, but there is time to solve it. And this is one team, NEROCA, was struggling, but right now in attack from the left. Past the challenge, and now the cross towards nobody really, and a good collection from Mohit.
I think in the moment was a good cross over there, just a bit too close to the goalkeeper. Also only one player inside the box, which was Sushil. Was only there. There was no one around him yet. Taruk was still in running. So cross was a bit to no one, but at least there is a little bit of a moment. They are falling back still in a 4-4-2 as we see. It's not really a 4-5-1. So I think that the formation that we got is a little bit of different setup than what they told us. So they are staying from there, trying to have 2 lines to close down the gaps, and then we need to see what they are going to do when they go in attack.
Well, all to see for Shajalbak plays it back. They generally like to play the passing football, these northeastern teams, but as we all know, the problems behind NEROCA and Trau coming up in this season. And there's the replay again, a soft foul there, and not too much in it, just put up his arms.
Yeah, I think a little push in the back, just the moment he wants to control the ball, which most of the times will be blown, especially when he lost the ball. If he would have kept it, there was no whistle going on, but now I'm sure that the ref took that decision because that push was there.
Well, that's not a great clearance, but Krizo is on, but the flag is up. And a little moment, a glimpse of how the NEROCA defense has been vulnerable.
And they need to be very careful with Krizo. Krizo, big, strong up front, but he knows where the goal is. Has shown that time and time again, like in Kolkata Premier League, knows where the goal is, the team where he plays, he will always score. Not the quickest, but of course you see it also. He can use his weight, he can use his strength. Has that good little pass what he just did, and once he's in the box he's dangerous.
And that cross is blocked from Aswar Rabar. Another of those faces who have come in this season for Real Kashmir. There are plenty of them, even the likes of Inam and Dion and Haider Yusuf. The long throw has been a weapon lately for teams, and it causes kind of trouble for defenses. And Sorum Poiri is aware. A long enough crease with the flick. Cleared away for the time being. Inam.
That will of course be one of their danger points. Long throw in. Krizo, who will try to get deflection towards his teammates. We see a little foul or push here from Taruk, which gives the ball to Kashmir again. But these throw-ins with Krizo in the box will always be dangerous.
But this might be dangerous now from the set piece. Carlos Alberto Lomba. The Portuguese delivers in the box. Krizo is there. Just not enough power generated, but the direction was there. Sorum Poiri had to be aware.
And they have another very good header. You see his deflection, what he wants to do. Like I told you, inside the box, very, very dangerous. But there is another one, which is Shaheen. Also that body, good header, power. It's another weapon that they have when he moves up from the center back inside the box to go for corners, to go for free kicks. They will have to be careful with him also.
Another throw-in. And every time there's a throw-in, right from start we can see they're just pushing those numbers forward and waiting for them to rise. Another interception there. Need to do better, just a wasted possession, but they've won a corner.
Which indeed they should have done better, NEROCA. And now they need to be very, very careful, because look at all the big bodies coming forward, getting inside that box. And they are very, very dangerous with headers.
So different idea from the corner. Still in the box, and that'll be a foul clearly from Krizo. He doesn't know too much about it, but just the defender on his way. Of course a foul, there's nothing to complain, I believe.
Yeah, it was a light foul, wants to go for bicycle kick, sees the player coming, holds himself, doesn't go for a header, but you see him falling on his back here, and that can always hurt. So it was not voluntary to hurt him, but a fall like that will be painful.
Well, of course, and that is why he's not booked, but then it was a foul, and now they have a foul in an attacking position. And there's one lad who has impressed us all in the previous season as well. And Nongamba. Oh, that's a giveaway, and now they might be on the break. Real Kashmir, it's a 3-on-3, with a wonderful sliding challenge from Ronaldo.
Yeah, so they try to get very quickly in transition from defense to attack. Once they have the ball, they play it around, they let the ball go from the back out. But these little moments, you've noticed already that Kashmir wants to go very quickly with a focal point up front, which is Krizo.
Well, but they have to be aware of these giveaways. Inam almost through. And Krizo, we have to add a little more accuracy to that one.
You see that interception here. Krizo looks immediately, tries to pass it in between the lines, but the ball was just not accurate enough.
Well, and just when I was saying about NEROCA being aware of giving away possession in such a manner, they just did it a while ago. And these little mistakes can sum up to be fatal at the end. And now from the back come Real Kashmir. Dion. Back to Shahir. Playing a few passes amongst themselves and looking more comfortable with more of these stringing together.
Yeah, as I said before, the moment they have the ball, they're in the attacking third, they're in the attacking side, they let the ball go around. They need to be careful on the quick counter attacks. As for NEROCA, Taro going at the moment,
Well, Tarek has done it before. That's a layoff and a shot off target. A good chance, a bright attempt from Sushil Mithai, but needed to hit the target from that range.
Going to see it again here. Very good deflection, but should have been on target. Maybe should have had a control, because on the left side there was a winger coming in also. If he would have scanned, maybe that pass could have been a one-on-one direction the goalkeeper.
Well, still scope for improvement, but that is where I said he has been impressive since the last season. Nangamba Singh, the number 11 for NEROCA, just tried to lay it off on that occasion with Real Kashmir, survive. Still a lot to see of what these teams have in their bag, and now a chance opening up quickly with the outside of the boot. A momentary lapse of focus, and Real Kashmir have taken the lead out of nowhere. Aswar Wahbar did ever so well with that flick.
And again, it's the deflection of Krizo. Like I said, he's there. He will have these deflections. There will be runners around him, and completely that happened. Long ball, Krizo puts his body, one deflection, goes around him, in front of the goalkeeper, good with his outright. Here you will see it. Perfect deflection, looks long enough, puts the ball next to the goalkeeper. 1-0 for Kashmir.
Well, that's intelligent from him as well. He saw Sorom Poiri covering the near post. Just did enough. Could have hit the upright, could have gone anywhere. But then so precise, and what a way to open his account, Asrar Wahbar, and gave his team the lead away from home. 1-0 Kashmir, and their attack again. He now trying to play through to the goal scorer. Took just 10 minutes, Steve, for Real Kashmir to find a goal away from home. They didn't score one against Namdhari. Here they have one in 10 minutes.
It's been a bit too quick already. Again, we see NEROCA struggling a little bit in finding these solutions, in finding these opportunities. But for Kashmir, one big opportunity, 1-0 immediately. NEROCA will have to do better here, but Kashmir is on control in the meantime.
Well, and with this goal, they will have more control. A throw in for Real Kashmir. And again, it's a little sloppy from NEROCA, to be honest. They were not sure what was happening. One pass forward, Krizo with the flick, and that's all. And not even needed to build up or create or think much for Real Kashmir.
This is where, as coach, you need to know your opposition. You need to know the strengths and the weaknesses of the opposing team. And as I said from the beginning, I know Krizo, I know his strengths. His strengths are these deflections, putting his body, letting players run around him. Apparently something happened just outside the screen.
Well, but he knows his team's strengths very well, Ishfaq Ahmed. And of course, he surely has studied his opposition as well. And there's a player down, that is why the play was stopped. Hopefully he's all right. Just talking about an elbow.
Don't think really it's an elbow, but you see an arm around it. It's a little bit what Krizo does. Krizo is going to intimidate you with his body, with the strength, with the power that he has. It's not really wanting to hit someone. As you saw, his arm was open, but he has an impressive body in front of you, and it's very difficult to defend. And that's what we saw already for the first goal. It's something that you will have to have in the back of your mind the whole game. And right now, NEROCA didn't, and Real Kashmir is leading in this game at the moment.
Hamad placed all the way back to Muhit Shabir. He goes long, just trying to exploit that defense again. And they're winning those second balls. Inam, a good first touch. Tried to be clever with the outside poke again.
I think it was a bit of a long ball that was not really necessary from the goalkeeper. Kicked it to his winger, knowing that there was 3 players just in front of him where he could have played it easy. Sometimes with 1-0, you need to take your time, let that ball go around. Don't go and kick the ball direction your wingers immediately, because you have the possibility in front of you. Let that ball do the work in the meantime.
Throw in for NEROCA. They created that little chance just before the goal, and now Nongamba. From the left, here comes NEROCA. They need a goal badly. A good turn and a header out from the Portuguese there. Look at the difference in possession. That's a shot well wide, but over 75% possession for Real Kashmir.
But it's one of these shots that we saw in the last couple of days also with the teams who are fighting for relegation. Trau, Rajasthan kicking from very far because they're not receiving those opportunities inside the box. But I keep saying it needs to be a wonder goal to get that ball really inside the area. It needs to be the perfect shot. You need to get, as a player, you need to get these balls inside the box. Keep shooting, or stop shooting rather, from 35, 40 meters, because it will not help you. These combinations, you get inside the box, little deflection, those are the danger moments.
Well, rightly so, but the way he went with that shot, probably he's been given that freedom to do that, because they have not much to lose. But they can just try. But then, as a player, when you're trying that, you have to be that confident that you're going to at least hit the target and test the keeper. And now that's a giveaway. Taruk has got the pace to burn. On the right-hand side, he has quality to deliver, and it does. But again, the tallest, the captain, Muhammad Hamad. Is that a throw-in? Just it is a throw-in.
And those two were just against each other in a one-on-one duel. Shaheen and Taruk has done that several times in the last couple of years in Kolkata Premier League, with Shaheen playing for Mohammedan and with Taruk playing at United. So they know each other, they know their strengths, they know the weaknesses of each other, and Shaheen at those moments is very strong in the back.
Well, and there we saw the NEROCA bench, one of their foreigners as well on the bench, Bogdan from Romania, and David Simbo. Along with that, there's one more player, a young player, much talked about, Tangvar Agui in the midfield. Gives that control and composure, very young still, but has got that quality. Maybe we'll see him later on. Floated long. And Krizo just couldn't control. For the first time, probably, we saw him not getting that long ball. Otherwise, most of the times, he has won that duel. And that's pretty long, asking too much of the attacking player.
And this style of play of Kashmir is a little bit recognizable. I've been seeing them playing now for a couple of matches already, also in the last years. Most of the times they're a team who's playing a little bit more direct football, and that's what you see also with the goalkeeper bringing these balls to Krizo immediately instead of playing out from the back. A lot of big bodies playing also at Kashmir. It's a style that you choose, it's a philosophy that you choose, and sometimes it will work. Right now they are winning 1-0, but sometimes when teams really come and press at you, it becomes difficult to keep that ball going with these long balls coming. So it's a style that we know, and again a mistake here.
And it is the goal scorer again. Asrar Rehbat delivers for Krizo. He's back and back to scoring ways. 2-0 Real Kashmir.
Unbelievable again. They know Krizo there. They know his strength. A mistake by the fullback. Let him go. Cross immediately. Krizo just puts his foot there. 2-0. 19 minutes played.
Well, years have changed. The pages of calendars have turned. But Krizo's habit of scoring goals hasn't really changed a lot. That was a good cross again. Perfectly on a plate for Krizo from Asrar Rehbat.
But if I'm there a defender and I look where Krizo is standing completely alone, means if you check again, they are not checking what is happening behind him. No one is looking where Krizo is. The fullback is coming late and Krizo just gets the space. So we can say it's a perfect cross. but it's just also not good defending. You need to be checking what is happening behind you, and no one within the run, if you have the possibility afterwards to again look at the highlight, within the run, no one has one check where Krizo is, and he knows he just needs to put his body, his foot against the ball and score that goal very easy.
Well, that is 1 point very well mentioned, and Jacob Joseph, I'm sure will be noting it down. He's also looking at those points, but that's a defensive error. But then from Real Kashmir's point of view, you do those little things right. You make the run, you do not stop for the defender to intervene, which could have happened on the right flank, but Asrar Rapper kept running. He knew the ball could come to him. Delivered across, Krizo was there, he did his job. A defensive error from NEROCA again, capitalized by clinical Real Kashmir. 2-0 already, 10 minutes on average. They're scoring a goal now.
So we are looking that Kashmir indeed is putting that press. It's not really a team press what they are playing, but once you come halfway, they are not allowing you to play anymore. So right now, this is where NEROCA is struggling a little bit in the middle third. The press there of Real Kashmir is quite close, as you see again, 3-4 players around one, and it makes it difficult for NEROCA to really find their spaces, their opportunities, and they will have to do better in the middle and the attacking third. And of course, in the defensive third, they make too many small mistakes there, which results in goals. But they need to improve in every area right now.
Well, twice now in the last 2 minutes, we saw two perfectly timed sliding challenges coming in for Real Kashmir. Rohit Mete, the fullback, up to take the throw in. He hasn't dropped back yet. Just waiting for that pass, and now he delivers across towards the far post. This might be a chance, but that is a good save from Mohit Shabir to deny NEROCA out of nowhere suddenly.
Very good cross, left foot, keeps running, keeps looking. Good connection with the ball, with his left foot, the shot there. Very good connection, even dangerous. Didn't really expect it when the ball was going so far, but he expected it, and that could have been the 1-2. Let us see what's happening in the corner now.
And that was Lorempam David Singh. And NEROCA have managed the corner, but they will have to take it again. Some issues in the box to deal with for the official. And set pieces, even though are an advantage, but against Real Kashmir, the chances go a little low. They are always known as that physical side, as you were mentioning a while ago, those physical duels. And now the delivery, the left-footed one. And 3 of those blue shots. Jeremy doesn't really clear it. Sometimes you wouldn't like that gamble, but then does well enough eventually. Carlos Lomba clearing it.
This is where the moments indeed NEROCA needs to learn during the match. They know that Kashmir has a lot of big bodies in the back. They played a little bit more on their strength. That moment you need to play the ball quicker around. You need to let Kashmir run after the ball. And right now it's NEROCA who's running after the ball. And that is not the right moment. That is not the right philosophy that is happening. NEROCA needs to go and press these big bodies. Because you know well enough, if there's 3-4 players around you, you're going to struggle with all that speed, all that high tempo. But right now, a lot of times, NEROCA is missing that ball in midfield, and you see more players of Kashmir trying to recover it than NEROCA is doing.
Well, but NEROCA do have the pace. They're not really using it, and they have to understand with most of these long balls and crosses, and Real Kashmir will mostly have the edge. Oh, was that a foul? That's a handball. He thought it was a foul and just used his hand. That's not something you should do. Play to the whistle.
And normally if we follow the rules there, it's a handball. It's a handball, it's a yellow card. So whatever happened at that point, maybe he thought it was a foul or no foul, but he grabs the ball with his hand. Most of the times that should have been given a yellow card, a caution over there.
Well, he has given the free kicker for the handball, but then a little lenient, doesn't really show the card. Just understands the situation. But then, in any other day, we could have seen a yellow card. But Taro Hembram right now trying to combine with Sushil Mite. There's Shajal Bag. Well, that was Aniket Pachal, rather, his midfield partner, Shajal. Another good switch. David, he's doing well with those first touches, even with the previous shot, and now to bring it down. Now Nangamba, always a threat. Shajal. On the overlap is Rohit Mate. Avoids the first challenge. Rushes the cross in again to a similar zone. And now Nangamba, a good turn. But always going to be blocked there with three blue shirts rather.
2 times cross in the same area, 2 times dangerous, 1 time a good shot, this one blocked. But it's something that I think that they've had in their game plan to bring those balls over there. One of the things that I saw with the NEROCA players, when they have the ball, most of the times they need 3-4 little touches before being able to pass that ball. And they are struggling with playing that ball just in 1 or 2. What you see with, for an example, with Kashmir, with Krizo up front, most of the times he's not touching the ball 2-3 times. He's doing that deflection in 1 touch, and it's making a bigger problem. Again, he does it in 1 touch over there, compared to the NEROCA players who are using 3-4 touches to be able to play that ball to their teammate.
Dion's cross blocked. And now NEROCA, can they do a little better? Shajal Bag intercepted. He's trying to find that creative pass, but not always you can look for that option. Sometimes just opt for the simpler pass and just get your team moving forward.
But he made it difficult on his own. He received the ball, started running, kept carrying the ball, and at a certain point there was no one in front of him anymore. If he would have played that ball quicker, there would have been more opportunities and more solutions. The same here, 3, 4, 5, 6 touches. That's better. 2 touches, space immediately.
Whole lot better from Shajal. And now David. And that's what pressure does actually. Your team is down by 2 goals. You know you want to try and create something. Here he's again looking for that forward pass and eventually squares it out. Nangamba.
And they have to get back completely. But again, a bad ball direction. The goalkeeper is putting pressure on him because Krizo is coming. Why you play a ball over there? There was no one inside the front area in the final third. You could have easily played that ball. Again, we see here a ball behind the player. Play these balls in front that you can keep moving forward. But if you every time need to run backwards, you're inviting Kashmir to move up, where if you play that ball perfectly, you receive your own opportunities.
And this time he tried to play it forward, but a little too forward. And that little measurement is the difference right now. That's another corner. I tried to keep it in. I have a question for you right after this corner, Steve, about Royal Kashmir's formation and how we saw on the team sheet. We are seeing a Jeremy on the midfield in our formation sheet, but then he's playing as a winger, and Kamal dropping a bit deep, and then at times we're seeing Carlos Lomba playing as a proper centre-back at times, not just dropping back, but even when they're going up front. We'll hear that answer after this corner, surely. And Royal Kashmir's second one, again, a different idea. Jeremy, a good cross. For a moment, I thought it sneaked in somehow. No one dealing with it.
A lot of times Kashmir is going into a 4-1-4-1 almost, with Lomba indeed falling back, trying to play those balls, getting that freedom to be able to see the opportunities. And you saw here very good shot, very good cross also. So they were playing in a 4-1-4-1 a lot of times with Krizo up front. We're trying to get Lomba the freedom in between the lines because NEROCA is playing in a 4-4-2. And then we're having 2 wingers and an attacking midfielder coming and running over Krizo. And that's where the danger area right now is for NEROCA. And this is what Kashmir is doing really well.
Very interesting and somewhat, if I'm not mistaken, very fluid as well from Kashmir. They're moving about with the formations, the players just changing at times. Sometimes you have seen Dion coming in that midfield zone. And Jeremy a moment ago was again back in the midfield. Good from Royal Kashmir.
This is why at the end I'm not talking about formations anymore. If I go as a coach inside a team, I'm talking about running lines. Running lines where you go in the attacking part, where you need to run in the defensive part, what you need to do to create spaces. There is no real formations in football because at the end, right now Krizo is up front. There is 3 players in the same line as him, so you can't say it's in a 4-1-4-1. And we got another opportunity here.
That's a beautifully measured ball from Jeremy towards Aswar, but the cross was intervened. And now Haider trying to control. Haider Yusuf to Muhammad, back with him. And that narrow space at the far side trying to be used by Kashmir, but it is a free kick.
So as I was explaining at the end, you see a little bit here, I think he twisted his ankle, and immediately Isha was apologizing for the little foul over there. But as I was explaining, there is no real formations in football. There is running lines, there is what you do in defensive, what you do in attacking part, where do you need to run, what are the strengths of your team, what are the weaknesses of your team. The same for the opponent. And at the end, there is coach and his team, you need to figure out how you can get these 3 points together.
Well, Jeremy and Inam combining, finds the pass. Aswar Wehbar takes it a bit wide. He has options still. Very patient at the moment. Now towards Krizo. He was hoped. And now the shot. Not enough power or angle on it to beat Sorampori. But another good move from Will Kashmir.
Yeah, it was a good pass first to open up the defense. And then at the end, it ends up with a shot here. They had some opportunities, the good pass at the right time. It's always so important. What is the right pass? Where do we find the real solution? And you see Lomba always running backwards to demand those balls. Try to get that ball, runs away to create space for the player he just played the ball back to.
Just controlling that midfield for Will Kashmir. And if you look up front on the sides, these are the full backs just making those runs. And there's one of them, Haider Yusuf. Still manages it. Aswar. And look where Carlos Lomba has come up. The workload, another cross in. Had to get a foot to that. Shurajit Seal. 32 minutes in. And Aniket Pachal is struggling.
Indeed, what you were saying about Lomba, it's not really that he's running loads of distances, but he's jogging in the right spaces. And it's one of the things that a lot of players need to learn. It's not always about sprinting everywhere on the pitch, but it's about getting at the right tempo in the right spaces. And that's what you see Lomba doing. He came to get the ball on the left side, played it to his left fullback. The ball goes to Shaheen. Shaheen plays it to the right side, and Lomba is already jogging to the right side. Ball moves forward, and by that time he was on the right wing position almost. But he didn't sprint 1 second. He just kept moving around to find the right space, and we received the first goal again. Wonderful touch on the right. Perfect duo, because the second goal again will be the other way around.
Well, he turns provider this time, and Krizo turns scorer. And as he was saying about these running lines and how Lomba, that's what you want as a coach, the intelligence, the presence of mind. A little cooling break meanwhile for the teams. It's done and we'll resume with the game. But football is changing, things are changing. There's new tactics and new coaching terms, and even the technologies is advancing. And there's the difference. The sooner you adapt to it, the more better you play. And Will Kashmir trying to do that rightly. Throw in from Muhammad Ahmad. Long through again. They want to kill the game here. Again, miscommunication. There was a hesitation before the clearance, and Tarak Hembram has a space to run into. Now Gamba, a little lonely up front, and now their support has arrived. Tarak towards Shajal, and now switch to the left towards David again. Just let it bounce at the wrong time.
And those moments with Shaheen one-on-one is very strong. He's a very sober player, not someone who's going to make too many fantasies. But one-on-one, it's very difficult to get past him with his experience. A good deflection of Krizo here again.
Excellent that from Krizo, that little first touch. And now he delivers a ball almost to perfection. Oh, there's confusion. And collected by Sorampoy. He's felt a knock. And the referee has blown for the free kick as well. But Jeremy making that run, everyone making those runs whenever, wherever needed. You have a player in blue running. Very impressive from Royal Kashmir individually and as a team both.
Indeed, everything goes around Krizo. Krizo is the one keeping that ball up front. He mistimed his run a little bit, didn't really look at the ball. That's why suddenly he had to turn away from the ball again. But everything at the moment is turning around Krizo. The right deflections, the right movement, give the time to his players running around him, give good pass at that point, and also finishes it when necessary.
And now they have the ball back again. Mohammad Inam done his job well so far. 36 minutes. NEROCA need a goal from somewhere to keep this contest alive. And that's a heavy touch from Inam. And the only possible way, I believe, or maybe possibility that NEROCA try and find a goal back is from these little mistakes of Royal Kashmir. They need to capitalize quickly on those and just try to hit on the break. They're well in control right now, otherwise, Royal Kashmir.
Biggest problem at the moment for NEROCA, and I'm talking attacking wise, is that no one can hold the ball. No one is holding it. No one is keeping that ball under control. And most of the times it's just coming back. The only two opportunities, or especially one very good opportunity, was with a cross and a shot in one go. And we see here changes being made already.
And there's the young lad we talked about. I was mentioning a moment ago. Two changes rather immediately from NEROCA. One of them is Tangva Rakui in the center of the park. So Balwinder has also come on in defense for David. He will slot in the back line. And along with that, it is Aniket Pachal. He was a bit injured and that is why probably he's taken off. But Tangva Rakui, just keep an eye on this youngster.
Yeah, it's indeed someone you were talking about already. So let us see if he can have an impact. Let us also see if there's a tactical change or not.
There probably is a tactical change because a winger has been taken off for a defender, and it seems like for a moment it seemed like it's a five-man backline, but we'll wait to find that out.
Yeah, I think indeed that they go to a 5-4-1 with overlapping fullbacks.
Let's see if that strategy works. Jeremy meanwhile. Good first time passes. And again, look at that combination play. And now to the right. Oh, just that interception coming in. Here's Tangva. Almost a mistake straight away. Pressure on NEROCA.
That's indeed what I've been saying from beginning of the first half. You see Kashmir, who is putting the pressure on the right moments, who is putting high pressure when necessary, with Lombard dictating when they need to go and do this. But it's normally something you would expect from NEROCA to do, because Kashmir, as we know, is normally a team who's playing more direct football, longer balls, and then try to get a deflection. But they are playing very good movement football, passing in one touch a minute ago. This is something that normally I would expect NEROCA to do, but it's coming from Kashmir.
Good to watch even for the neutrals, the way Royal Kashmir are playing, especially in that last move where that interception came in from Rakesh Mittai. But those passes before that, 4, 5, 6 quick passes among themselves. And this time he was offside, I believe, Sushil. And now, right now, he's the only one up front.
Yeah, so as we said, you see a little bit here, the push between each other. Captain is doing that very smartly. Just put open your body, not really pushing anyone. But at the end, they were complaining about that he was pulling his shirt. No, not really. He's just doing it very smartly. Again, we see Lomba coming to ask the ball in between the two centre backs to create space in midfield, which they find.
What a ball that from Inam. Perfect weight on that. And now Aswar. He's driving in once more. Finds Jeremy at the far post. Jeremy controlling it well. Has got that little ability to hold on to the ball with those little touches and ball control. That's what we often practice in the ball control drills. And that's where sometimes, even subconsciously, it comes into play. And that's a wasted pass, a rare wasted pass from Real Kashmir.
And one of the main things that you see at the moment is that Kashmir is an old machine. They know who's going to run where, what are each other's tasks. And with, at the moment, coach of NEROCA, who has been changing his team over and over again, as today, and not bringing in the foreigners, changing several players again, it makes it difficult to find your combinations. It makes it difficult to find the opportunities. And again, a wasted cross here at the end with only one player in the box. Even if Daruk would have found someone inside the box, it would have been very difficult for him to score that goal against these towers who are there with Shaheen and with the captain. NEROCA needs to find another solution.
They need to pass their way through. Long balls are not really the best option against this very side, at least. And that too when attempts like this come in. A little pressure, that's what you were talking about, needed from NEROCA. Inam. Now to the man from Ghana, Kamal Issa. Plays it forward, he's at the heart of everything. The number 10, Aswar Vepar, 1 goal, 1 assist. Every time Real Kashmir in attack, they find him. And now Inam, he can shoot from distance too if he gets the space. Gets it back from Jeremy, silently playing those little passes and movements. Jeremy Laltinpuya.
But you still see that NEROCA is playing in a medium, even almost in a low block. And that still Kashmir is finding these spaces in between. With a good pass again from Krizo. As I said, everything in this match is going around Krizo. Gets that good touch, turns around immediately, pass in between, perfect run. If that would have been just a fraction of a second better, could have been 3-0 here.
Just that little touch from Jeremy could have got it under control, and that could have been game set before half-time. It is still a game set the way things are going, but then too early to predict. Anything can happen in football. There's the possession stats, 64%, still miles ahead from NEROCA. And we know always possession is not the only thing, but then it's positive possession. It's not just square passes and passes in this back line. Another good pass, Kamalisa. Oh, he goes down a little easily this time. Shajal Parker wins it back. And he's running forward. Not sure whom to pass and finally finds ball. Now Tangvarakui. He likes to take on players, likes to control things in the midfield. And he'll win a throw-in.
But he does it a little bit on the wrong end of the pitch. He should be much deeper to do these runs, to do these ones-on-ones.
That's meanwhile a good touch from Nankamba, but then again checks his run, wonder why. Well, talking about some of these NEROCA players, we said a bit about Tangvarakui, but even Shajal Bag, this lad, he's a local lad from Korea itself, comes from a very humble background and has signed for Chennai FC in ISL, is on a loan here for the I-League for NEROCA, and hopefully he will try and get his team back in the game. A little clumsy at the moment. And back with Real Kashmir. Haider Yusuf. And the captain plays it square to Shahir Shaheen. Has a habit of just helping his attack at times with some long balls. Didn't really need to do that today. And now the keeper will go long. 3 minutes added on at the end of 45. And do we have more goals here? Be it for whichever team.
We see a counter-attack here, maybe a quick transition, but again the wrong pass. It's these little moments I'm talking about. They have small opportunities, but it's not good enough at the moment. If I'm honest right now, and I look at this NEROCA team, how they are playing now, it's like I have a review of yesterday's match with Trau. Getting these small opportunities, getting to the other side of the pitch, and then making the wrong decision.
Clueless, maybe a right word to use. Once they're in that final third, they do not know what to do. Not just the final third, whenever they're entering that Real Kashmir half. And that is an issue they have to solve, and solve early. I'm sure they have plenty of fan following in the northeastern states, plenty of talents as well lying there. But they want their team to perform better. This is not where they want NEROCA and Trau to be at. There's a rivalry between these two as well, the Imphal derby, but that's another giveaway. And Inam almost feeded it through to Krizo, but Jeremy. Was there a foul? Not really. Back with Inam. He is being pulled. Play on allowed.
Very good decision of the referee to keep playing there. Don't have to whistle every time if the ball is still in the game. Let it flow in the meantime. Too many referees who immediately broke. Good.
Almost perfect from Jeremy. The turn was perfect. The pass was intervened. And a free kick finally. And Ronaldo does not agree, but he has to control his emotions. He doesn't want to be booked that way, I'm sure.
Was a little bit of a tackle of 2-3 players, one of them with Ronaldo, but not really excessive tackling, not too bad. We see that Carlos Lomba is going to take that ball. We have the big players of Krizo, of Shaheen back up front. Guaranteed will be dangerous.
Well, with seconds remaining in first half, can Real Kashmir make it 3 towards Shahir? They might win a corner, but good work from Rakesh Mitei. He's still trying to hold that, and that physical prowess just gives him the edge to win that ball.
Free kick was not that wonderfully good, but again, big headers up front, tried to recover that ball a couple of times, and now you're going to see another deflection of Krizo most probably.
This might be the last piece of attack in first half, a long throw. And they know that is why they're trying to convert it to a set piece. What was Krizo trying there?
I think he was trying to play volleyball instead of football, but was lucky he didn't touch with his arm. At the end he touched Surjit on the neck a little bit, but not really hard enough to make it a foul. You see the big bodies coming forward. Carlos Lomba, Shaheen who's there, Krizo is there, and you know that Jeremy, if he puts the ball in the right spot right now, that he can be dangerous just before halfway.
And he has been trying to feed that ball through, and the header as well, but off target. And that's it for first half here at the Kalyani Municipal Stadium. And NEROCA still struggle, and Real Kashmir away from home will be happy that they scored twice already in the first half. A 2-0 lead. Things to talk about this performance, Steve?
Yeah, one of the biggest things, like I've said during the match, is Krizo, who you see talking here a second ago. Everything is turning around him. They have the experience in the back with the two centre-backs who are going off the pitch together here. They are control of the game, and at the moment NEROCA is struggling to find the opportunities and to find the spaces, and that's what we see here.
66% possession to 34 from NEROCA. That's the supremacy Real Kashmir had. Even the shots, 6 from Real Kashmir, 4 on target. 5 shots, mostly scuffed attempts, 1 on target, which was a good save from Mohit Shabir. And 3 corners for Real Kashmir as well. 1 at just the ending stage of first half. They have done everything right so far. But NEROCA have to regroup. 5 shots, Nongamba with 2. Mite with 1. And David Singh with that attempt on target. And Sushil as well with 1 chance of his own. And there's 6 of those shots from Real Kashmir. Krizo with 2. 1 hit the target. Scored as well. Astwar Rahbar, 1 shot, 1 goal. Tion, Issa and Hamad. They had fancied their chances as well. Hamad, of course, with that last header before half-time. 4 fouls from NEROCA and Nankamba Ronaldo. Just trying to do the defensive work. Sushil Mite as well at the wrong position where he wouldn't want to have his name on. But just that's how the day has been for NEROCA. And 7 fouls from Real Kashmir. Always, time again, we talk about them being physical. But not too many intentional ones. Just those little pushes and strokes giving away those 7 fouls, but none of them capitalized by NEROCA. Well, that is it for the first 45 minutes. We'll look at the chances and the goals in the first half. And Steve, if NEROCA has to make a comeback, what is the way?
The way is to do better than what you are doing right now. We can talk about formations, we can talk about tactics, but let us first see the good cross and deflection of Krizo. Next ball again, Krizo on that deflection, and this is the 1-0 with a perfect finish in the far corner.
Well, and there's how Real Kashmir took the lead within the first 10 minutes, 10th minute to be precise. And these were few attempts of those 5. And then the scorer turning provider, the provider turning scorer, Krizo making it 2-0. And just his prayers, not too much of celebration. He's been there before as well in Real Kashmir. He's back again and back to score. This was a good shot.
This was the only real shot of NEROCA compared to the opportunities that Kashmir has had. Always, or most of the times, through Krizo, as you see. Perfect pass here again. Just a bit too hard. And then the final header before half-time.
Well, and that's all action we have from first 45 minutes, but another half to be played. Things can change, anything can happen. This is the I-League. It's NEROCA versus Real Kashmir. Stay tuned, we'll be back again with second half action. Welcome back for second half action here between NEROCA and Real Kashmir at the Kalyani Municipal Stadium, a new home for the teams from Manipur, at least for this season. And they have been struggling, both of them. But right now, talking about NEROCA, after the first 45 minutes, down by 2-0, we saw a few changes coming in as well. We'll talk about them. Steve, with me on the comm box, your views on the second half and how those changes might impact the game.
So at the moment, I think indeed that the coach had to do something, being trailing 2-0 already, bringing in again two substitutions with David Simbo and with Agia. I think maybe a little bit more, or hopefully a little bit more attacking football. But David Simbo normally is a defender. I think will start operating as a midfielder to have a little bit more that power, or he will be playing one-on-one against Krizo to give the opportunities for midfielders to have a little bit more of possibility to play the ball around. So let us see what the game plan will be for the coach of NEROCA, Jacob Joseph, and let us see if it changes anything on what is happening inside the game.
Changes brought on, alterations from NEROCA. But does that alter the result of this game is what we are here to find out in the next 45 minutes. It's NEROCA who kickstart the second half and will be attacking from right to left of your screens. The two goals which gave Real Kashmir the lead in first half, Asrar Rehbar with the first and Krizo with the second. And here's the substitute, David Simbo, on the ball. Straight away in attack is NEROCA. Just trying a bit more Nangamba now. Two blue shirts, they're still trying to get hold of things. And maybe that switch, as you mentioned, with David Simbo coming at the back line, will just help them just strengthen that wall behind and just provide some stability moving forward. And here's Sarampore. And David. One thing they are missing, along with all things on the pitch, is their fans on the stands. They have massive support at home. And now another attack. Rakesh was almost through, but Haider Yusuf, doing some defensive duties, has hurt himself in the process.
Yeah, so I'm trying to look a little bit what the game plan is right now. But we saw here injury with a tackle, not really a moment of players in between hitting each other. I think it's more of a misput of his leg when he does the tackle, and that, when I see him grabbing towards his leg, could be a little bit of a issue there. So as I was explaining, I think that NEROCA is going to play with three in the back, and if I'm looking quickly, I think Balwinder Singh will be the central player with David Simboa next to him and with Rohit next to him also. And then I think that two of the fullbacks will be more overlapping. That's quickly the views that I saw there. And then one of the midfielders will try to get direction the striker to make it a little bit more looking as a 3-5-2. But let us see further when the match is going on. That's what I saw at the beginning already, with three players and two very deep fullbacks.
And those two seem to be Tarok Hembram and Rakesh Mite, if I'm not mistaken. And in the midfield, they will have Tangvarakui with Shojal Baga and Nangamba moving around. And he's been allowed that freedom, Nangamba, today, just to move around. And Arko Roy, the substitute, will play up front. Rakesh delivers in the box, but to no one really.
So it was not really an injury, but it was more of blood coming out of his leg from the tackle. As I just saw, he had to put some cotton onto it. So must be that the pitch is a little bit on the dry side maybe, because otherwise if it's wet, the grass, you do a tackle like that, you would not get an open wound. Or maybe little bit something on the pitch lying there can be a case, but let us see what's happening here.
Well, Shajal to Tangva, and Tangva was looking to just feed it through with that little touch, but not really enough space there to do that thing.
I think if he could have reached his teammate there, it could have been dangerous because it would have been a one-on-one action. The thought was not bad, but it's the execution. And as I expected, two foreign players here, one-on-one against each other now. With Balwinder getting the space behind. So they're going to opt to put one-on-one body against Krizo, two full backs falling back, triangle in the middle, and that putting two strikers up front.
Well, that is what they have done right now, just applying that little more pressure up front. And David Simbo hoping that they can silence Krizo at least a little bit. Oh, that'll be a foul, not intentional, but he will be booked for that challenge, Tangva. And complains immediately from all the NEROCA players. He was just trying to poke it. He's trying to explain that as well. There wasn't studs showing on that occasion is what they are saying. We'll have a look at that on the replay surely. But it is a free kick and a yellow card for Tangva.
Yeah, indeed, we will see in the replay if he actually touches him or not. The ref must have seen something to go immediately into his pocket, and sometimes it's just even the movement of your foot and not into your mind thinking I will injure him. But let us see here what exactly happens. Think it's a light yellow because it's on the side of his foot. It's not really one-on-one with a frontal foot. So it's a bit of a light yellow card.
A little harsh, but they're in attack again. Oh, difficulties for the keeper of the crossbar. And for a moment, well, Kamalisa, he could have been on the score sheet as well. 3 shots from Krizo. Out of nowhere suddenly. And here's Inam. That burst of pace and sudden acceleration. Jeremy shows one side and goes the other. Still trying, and here's Kamal again. Yeah, that's a miss pass, a little sloppy there. Casually passed it back.
And that's the most important what you said. Out of nowhere. We didn't expect it. We were still talking about what was happening before, about the foul. And suddenly already they have a ball on the crossbar. And we haven't seen a replay yet what exactly happened for them to get that over that possibility there. But out of nowhere, so important that players don't know what exactly, and suddenly you're there. That's what I'm not seeing right now from NEROCA.
There's the chance again. While we were talking, it was once again Asrar Rebar. And the keeper didn't really judge it well. He thought it was going out. But at the last moment realized not really. Couldn't connect it well there, Kamal Issa. Otherwise, it was straight on goal.
Especially very good cross there, looking backwards to see if there's a player in running, not just having the focus on Krizo. Perfect cross. The touch was not too bad.
Well, that's a giveaway, and Krizo is alone up front, has beaten the defender, has unleashed the shot as well. And that right palm of Sorampoe just denies Krizo his second and just keeps the hopes alive for NEROCA.
And the one-on-one duo with David Simbo. Immediately Krizo showed who is boss and who is master, with David falling on the floor here. And this will give Krizo even more that power in thinking I'm the better man right now. And what a shot he did there.
A good bit of trick to control that as well, deceiving the defender entirely. And now space to cross it in. Time to measure it as well. And the header from Shahir Shaheen, who rose there, is off target.
Good cross. 3 players on the same area. Not really communicating with each other. Otherwise, Krizo could have had a good header there again. But now we see NEROCA. Let us see if they can create an opportunity here.
And now on the overlapping one. And a wasted cross. But then, this is one thing we'll see a little more from NEROCA in this half because of that alterations. But they have to still work hard defensively because Krizo has won it back. David Simbo plays it safely back to Sorum Purvey, and he had to do that. We did not talk about stats so much today yet, but one stat which has remained constant is that NEROCA have no clean sheet yet in the I-League this season. Inam pressing meanwhile, and that press can sometimes be dangerous. And another thing to be noted, NEROCA haven't kept a clean sheet against this very opponent in the last 5 matches, and it's the same today. Tangva lobs it, very clever towards Rohit Mutey. Can he find a pass back? And that's poor, but now the shot, he should have hit the target. What a chance for NEROCA.
I think it was the right pass. It was not really poor. He looked behind. One player already was going to be blocked. Let the ball go for his teammate. If that touch would have been better, you see it again. He lets it go for that opportunity. But again, it should be inside the box of the goal. And it's a wasted opportunity. But since they've changed their formation, they're finding a little bit more their wingers. They're finding a little bit more their opportunities. But it still stays the same in. They need to be able to stop Krizo.
But that was a good pass from Tangwa. He almost got it back. Should have done better with the final touch. Could have created as well as scored together. But now throwing in an attacking position for Real Kashmir. But that's one thing about NEROCA. These attacks are coming now at least. They're missing the chances, but they might just sneak in one, and that'll help them. But they need to do it before Kashmir strike again.
And it's something that Krizo is very experienced with. If you play a one-on-one, you actually put one player on him to follow him, he's going to drop down very deeply for players to be able to run around him. And that's what he just did a minute ago. Let us see if he get a good deflection here. So we have that one-on-one duo with David Simbo. And because of...
Well, that'll surely be a yellow card without question this time. Or maybe he'll escape that card. But it was a foul clearly, and a free kick. Missed the ball totally. Look at that, just sliding in. A little unnecessary. Off the ball. That should have been a yellow.
I think this was more yellow than the previous action. We see again that long throw in here. Ball being played open. Always trying direction. Krizo. But right now, the moments, the one-on-ones between David Simbo and Krizo are a little bit equal. But NEROCA still will have to find a solution to finish these chances on the other side of the pitch.
So danger again. Whenever they have a set piece, you know the height is in the box. You know that they just need the delivery. A different idea this time. Yusuf plays it forward, a little flick. Jeremy did not expect that coming.
It was something that they studied. Ball playing backwards. You saw 4 players suddenly running into the opposite direction. Good ball, good deflection. But even if he would have touched it, he was 3-4 meters offside, so he would have not counted.
Well, he was, but we have to praise this coaching team of Real Kashmir with Ishfaq Ahmed and Mohammad Yusuf Ansari, and the assistant coach for Real Kashmir as well. NEROCA in control with Taro Kembram. Haven't seen too much of him in positions we want to see him in attack on that flank. But seems like one thing I missed. Oh, another miscommunication. That's another giveaway. And the thing I meant was I thought Taro Kembram would be wide in that wing-back role, but he has dropped central. Rohit Mutey is playing that wing-back role. Krizo. And now with the outside of the boot, a weak attempt collected by Sorum Purvey.
And it's something that Taro Kembram is used to. Let us first here see. I think he would have wanted to do a proper shot, mistimed it a little bit. But as I was saying, it's something that Taruk is used to, more playing in that central role where he's running right now, trying to find these spaces. have played in this formation also, because I played with him in this formation, so he knows a little bit what to do more. But at the end, right now, NEROCA is still pressing alone. So this is one of the things that they need to improve. Right now, it's always a one-on-one press. And if you want to recover these balls much quicker, you need to do it in two. But another good deflection of Krizo.
That's smooth from Krizo, and Asrar Webar just takes it a bit far. Still, the attack is on. Kamal. Oh, that's a missed pass, but Carlos Lomba will win it back. There's Dion. They continue the attacks and win a throw-in.
So as I was explaining, you need to look a little bit on how to go and press together. And right now I see individual pressing most of the time compared to Kashmir, where they press in a group, where they press in a team. And it makes a big difference with Lomba, who is always free. Good shots from around 30-35 meters here. This is a little bit the difference between Kashmir and NEROCA. When Kashmir goes and press, you have, it's a little bit like Lomba has everything in his hands and telling them to go right and left, telling them where to go and press. Compared to NEROCA, there's no real leader in that midfield, and they are struggling with that.
Well, indeed so, and we saw the Real Kashmir bench just a second ago, just affording a smile on the bench, and that is because the team is playing well. And talking about Real Kashmir's attack and the way things are going, very organized, very tactical, and that is why 63% possession they're having at the moment. NEROCA are trying to just make those pieces fall in place together to get their team running up again. And there's a long ball forward that is most of the times not going to work, and that is the result here.
No, against Kashmir, this is not working, especially because you don't have a target man up front. If you have a target man up front, and their target man was playing in the last match, and they decided not to play him right now.
Well, that's silky. That's smooth in the build-up from Asrar and then Krizo. Every one of them just on the same wavelength. Look at that again and again. He tried to get it back. The cross was off David Simbo for a corner. Another corner for Real Kashmir. Not too many positive results for NEROCA against Real Kashmir, especially, even though this season is a different story. But 5 on 5, he's the man on focus, under pressure as well. And Jacob Joseph. Jeremy plays it to Asrar. Another different idea. Yusuf lobs it. Is there another one here? And a foul spotted for using his arms. Shaheen does not agree, Steve, with that.
No, it's one of those moments in the... You always try to get to the third zone. Shahir will always be there, tries to go and deflect that ball. There is no offside, but here at that moment, it's a light little push with his left hand. And of course, the referee is going to blow there.
Cannot use your arms, that is the thing. And we are talking about the last 5 meetings between these two teams. NEROCA have not won even one of them. 3 wins for Real Kashmir and 2 draws. At their last meeting on the 11th of February, it was a 2-2 draw between Real Kashmir and NEROCA, in Kashmir of course. And before that, when they played in Imphal on the 13th of November 2022, just a year ago, it was a 1-0 for Real Kashmir as well. So this is one side they do not like to face, and that's some pressure on Soram Poiri. A good touch by Rakesh. There's another player coming from the Bengaluru Academy. In the previous season's I-League, he was there in 93% times of the starting 11. One of the youngest who got this much of game time in the I-League last season. In attack again, Kamal. Can he combine? He wants a goal for himself. A little selfish at times. Second time now. The previous one he of course should have gone for a shot, but this time could have crossed it to Krizo.
Could pass here, find that space. Shot to really nowhere when Krizo was in the middle. Quite free. those moments they need to do better if they want to finish off the game. They're still giving the opportunity for NEROCA, and we see here at the moment that NEROCA has had 6 shots at goal and Real Kashmir has had 12. It also shows a little bit inside the game the difference between Kashmir and NEROCA.
And that's a giveaway again. And now Krizo, his touches have been exquisite. Another one, Jeremy! Well. This team might be in blue, but their game is filled with green checks today. It's 3-0 for Real Kashmir, and this man knows the pressure building on him. NEROCA are down by 3.
Again, good ball there, good finish. We'll see that again in the highlight. You see them celebrating. Quality finish for Jeremy also. Quality run in between the center backs. So here we see Krizo again. The player I've been talking about the whole game right now. Wonderful pass in between. Jeremy does that. Comes in front of the goalkeeper, one-on-one. Just puts it in the corner. And they are 3-0 up.
Well, just being honest with you, the last time I saw Krizo play for Real Kashmir a few years ago in 2018, 19 and then 20, I wasn't really a big fan of this player. Maybe because the strategy then was to play those long balls and try and use him as the focal point. But today, his touches, his movement, and now Tangwa with an attempt too close to the keeper. But then talking about Krizo again, his touches, passes, everything almost is falling in place for him today.
Let us first see here that shot direction goal. He saw that the goalkeeper was at the far post. I think he tried shooting on the first post. But again, it's something that is just not good enough. But you were talking about Krizo. You were talking about his qualities. You said you saw him a couple of years ago. You were not too much of a fan. I saw him playing last year for Bhawanipur. We played against him also inside the competition. And he has these qualities. He had a quality striker around him, making a lot of danger runs, a lot of danger passes, and most of the times the deflections came from him. And at the end, how did we stop him? By going to press very high and pushing him away from the goal, that when he did a deflection, that the striker still had to run 45, 50 meters, and then his deflections were not that dangerous. But if you leave him around the box, like now again, you create opportunities.
Well, here's Inam meanwhile, her twisting and turning, and that far side might win a corner, still tried to Campbell. It is a goal kick given. But yeah, as you were rightly mentioning the points and positives of Krizo, very impressive today as well. And that is a privilege I have to hear it from you, having been up close with these scenarios and some of these players too.
This is at the end the studies you need to do. Let us see. I don't think it's too bad. No, he's getting up already again. This is at the end the studies that you do during competitions and during moments of evaluation before the match, after the match. Who are you playing against? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? You need to actually know completely what you're up to and what are you going to use to try to win that game. Does that work every time? No. If we as coaches would be magicians, there would be a big problem because every team would win every time. So at the end, we have a little bit of a feeling in this could be the best moment to play this way. This could be a good tactic. Your team needs to, at the end, also have the feeling that they are doing exactly what the coach says. And still, I am convinced a lot of times, if you have quality group, quality team, a lot of times most of the tactics don't come from the coach. Most of the tactics comes from the players on the pitch because they have the feeling what is going well, what is going wrong. And you can be shouting from the side. If you have a fully quality team, experienced team, they know what to do. If tomorrow you become coach at a club like Barcelona, experienced, let us see here indeed, was offside right at the moment he put up the flag. So as I was saying, if you tomorrow become at the time when Barcelona had a whole experienced squad, as a coach you don't bring in that much. They play on the game and they will see. And here at the end, it's a little bit the same what I see the difference between Kashmir, who has a lot of experience, compared to NEROCA, who's playing with quite a few youngsters, maybe a first time even in I-League, and it makes a difference.
It does make a difference, but this youngster is making a bit of difference again with that press. Tangwa and NEROCA have it back only for a few seconds. And even a while ago, when you mentioned that offside, Tangwa Ragui just played that ball through to Nankamba. And there's one more reason. You just said about that experience in the I-League. Both of them were playing for NEROCA last season. And just the clear difference visible. They know, they're familiar with the stage. And here's another ball for Nankamba. He's having those chances again offside, but this time it was closer than you think, I'm sure. We'll have a look at that again. A few fans, well, people love the football in Kolkata as well. And it doesn't matter their home side isn't playing, but they're trying to make NEROCA feel at home with that support.
Yeah, the people, especially also in Kalyani, they love their football. Some great players came through Kalyani. Even this year, you have Raj Basfo, who made the transfer direction Mohan Bagan from United. They have a couple of players who have been playing in ISL from Kalyani. People love football over there. Some great academies who are working over there, so people want to come and watch their games.
When we say great about today's game, there's a miss pass though, but that man on your screen a second ago, the number 10 for Real Kashmir, Asrar Webber. If I had to pick a second one just after Guizo, even though every one of them have been good today, not to choose anyone differently, but then Asrar Webber, he's been very, very impressive.
And if we look a little bit further for NEROCA, it's not going to become easier in the next couple of matches. Next match away at Delhi, as we all know, not an easy match to go and play. Then they play at Kalyani against Interkashi, and then they have to go away against Churchill Brothers. Let us see what Real Kashmir does here.
Krizo will try alone this time. Well, heard his second noise, but oh well, that is a little bit of issue. Hopefully nothing serious, just his groin is what he was pointing at. Hopefully nothing serious. Steve, what does it look like?
He's been having that quite often. I think most of the times it's around 10-12 minutes that he has that. Suddenly he puts the tempo a little bit down. But everything is on power with him. The way he shoots also, everything is on power. And that you have the opportunity to get a little bit more injured, quicker injured, but he's experienced enough to know what he needs to do.
Well, power on Krizo, but tricks on Jeremy. That's what we saw in close-up. He's earned a free kick with that silky little touch. And there are now, it's Carlos Lomba. Will we see a different idea, a direct approach this time? They will have it back again. And some pace, but two men in defense. Very safely, very planfully. Does well. And look at Yusuf. He's playing as right full back, but knowing that void just tracks bad. And now Tangvarakui has seen a pass through, but will wait. And there was a touch from Lomba. And that is the experience he brings in. Just stops that attack. Jeremy scans to the left, plays to the right. There's Asrar, there's Krizo on the far post. Oh, off the post. No one would have thought that is coming back in. How intelligent from Krizo. He knew. He was the only man who knew what he was doing.
And he was again in that third zone, which I was pointing to you already here from inside the studio. I saw him running very open. Experience waiting that the defenders can't see him anymore. Cross comes, dangerous shot over there, and almost 4-0.
Just coming from behind those defenders, Krizo. That's what he did in the first goal as well. The defenders totally unaware, and that would be a handball. nothing is going right for NEROCA. That's sometimes harsh and feels sad for a team who has been over the years performing, even in the previous years. If you remember their performances in the season or two ago as well, that good number of young players, good number of foreigners as well, the likes of Felix Chidi and Chencho, all of them. That's a win by Inam, and he's awarded with a corner.
But of course, every season is not the same here. There's a lot of changes within the teams. There's a lot of different players. And most of the times, winning or losing within competition has to do with your mindset. If you're still positive, if you can go and press or not. You see Shaheen asking the ball here already. For Kashmir, everything is positive at the moment.
Tried to be a little clever once again, but NEROCA need to go on the break. They desperately need to. Nankamba trying to turn. And a free kick, a little soft again. But then they're trying to take it quickly. There's Rakesh from the left, and look at that, only one player, Orko up front, and now the support arrives, and the cross again, the wrong route. Some instructions need to be showered, something needs to happen for NEROCA. Again a touch, but then he was waiting there instead of making the run towards the ball.
Something that I've noticed for the coach at the moment, in the second half since conceding the third goal. First half he was still coaching the whole time, now he's been sitting down. I think maybe that positive from coach is gone at the moment, and that reflects onto your team.
Looks a little helpless. And now Nankamba with the run. Felt a knock, but continues the run. And now Rakesh tried to just play that forward. Shajal. It was a little bright move opening up, but then with those mistakes, cannot really call them fully mistakes, but then the situation turned out in such a way that the attack has stopped. Ronaldo. Tangva again plays it sloppy from Rohit Matei.
Good turn again from Krizo, 4 players around him. Tried to get a foul for him, but I think he knows it was a little bit easy to go on the floor there and to actually get a foul for him. But again, you see how much the players are around him to try to stop him from bringing that ball in a dangerous area. That's how much respect they have for Krizo at the moment. And as I did for NEROCA, let us quickly look at the next matches for Real Kashmir, who are coming up to some very tough opponents. Next match at home against Interkashi. Let us here first see if NEROCA can find an opportunity.
Arko with the pass forward. Rohit this time has seen a run on the far side. Too far away from him. Back to you, Steve, with the fixtures.
So, Real Kashmir playing home 4 times in a row. No, 5 times in a row even. At home against Interkashi. Then against Aizawa, Srinidhi Deakin, Gokulam Kerala and Shillong Najong. Very tough opponents coming up. But you have 5 home matches. That's where they need to gather a lot of points. We see he's struggling a little bit with his quadriceps right now. So let us hope it's not too bad. But Kashmir has the home advantage. Most of the times get a lot of points over there. So playing 5 matches in a row at home can maybe help them move up the table.
Tough, very tough road ahead with the fixtures. And one surprise on the path has already been Churchill, winning 3-1 against Real Kashmir. It was a bit of surprise, but then it was still the 3rd match of the season, wherein that's set enough. But Namdhari getting a 1-0 win, very difficult. The way Kashmir have been playing so far, I'm not sure if it was the same in the previous matches, but if they continue this way, and that too at home, they always have that home advantage going forward, they might just get those 5 in 5. And now the changes coming on for Real Kashmir. We'll look at who are the ones coming on, but then Real Kashmir always at home have that little edge. But as you said, if they can stop the likes of Krizo and maybe try something strategically to hold on Real Kashmir, they might drop a few points. But from Ishfaq Ahmed, he knows this is his chance. After that, it'll be more tougher route because all of these opponents he has to face again, but away from home as well.
Right now, if the match ends up in a 3-0, Real Kashmir moves up to the 5th position in front of Aizawl and just behind Shillong Lajong, having played 5 matches, all 3 of them having 9 points, but goal difference is 3. Also for Shillong Lajong it's 3, so if they score 1 more goal, they will move up to 4th position.
That's a defensive header out. We'll wait for the confirmation of those changes. Meanwhile, both for Real Kashmir, Yusuf seemed to be a little struggling with that injury, but he's up and running right now. Yusuf, either Yusuf, I've not mentioned Dion Menezes much, but he has been very much involved down that left-hand side too. Haider, not too much in it this time, and not too much quality rather. They need to clear their lines, NEROCA, and they eventually do. But that was almost the only option remaining.
But they are looking up front for a target man, someone that today was not chosen to be playing, which is a little bit surprising because he had a couple of good matches. Right now he's not even in the squad, not even on the bench, and that is a striker with number 9 Haidar Wada. I found that together with Fabian Reed he was not playing that bad. They created some opportunities. A lot of long balls from NEROCA are being kicked up front, but there is no one to hold the ball right now, so they are struggling again. A long ball coming forward, ball just goes over the head. He was someone who could have held that ball, a little bit playing like Krizo, get that ball on the chest, get that ball backwards. But right now, they are trying to find other solutions, but it's not working out.
Well, Jeremy is down this time, and apparently, as far as the information we've got, it is Jeremy who will be one of the 2 changes coming off the pitch. And there's the board out. Jeremy Laldenpuya is done for the game. And to replace him, here comes Farm Tariq Umair, another local for Real Kashmir. He will play that a little more defensive role. And Muhammad Inam goes off as well to be replaced by Adnan Ayub. So the 2 changes coming in, like for like almost. But here's Jeremy's goal. He's got his 2nd goal of the campaign, Jeremy.
Good run behind the defender, gets that ball, 1 touch, doesn't need to be more most of the times. 1 touch, inside foot, corner, always dangerous.
You could hear the shouts of Isa for the passer. And there's the captain. Hamad plays it to the right. Yusuf back to Hamad. Yusuf has still stayed on. Hamad with the cross blocked. At times with that hairstyle, just on a lighter note, often just by default comes to me like Ruben Neves, Portuguese as well, playing for Al Hilal right now in the Blues.
And it's something that or a person that we've not been talking too much, but I've seen how much work he's done, is Isa. Isa has been running a lot in between Lomba and Krizo, and he has put a lot of pressure there, and I think he's a very good link up between those 2 players, but not always you see a player doing a lot of actions or a lot of movement. He's a player that you only saw a couple of times, but being the perfect linked up in between those 2 players.
They've moved up their back line, NEROCA, for the time being, subtly, and then Tangva has dropped down, and that is where he's more familiar position for him. But anyway, no one has been able to make an impact for NEROCA. David Simbo still has reduced some amount of damage. But then it's back with Real Kashmir with the substitute Tariq Mir from the left, running at the defense, and one step over, not well in control, and defended out by Shajal Park there. Here's Tariq, has come to the left, trying to use his afterburners. Who's out? Rohit Mehdi. Not being so effective on the overlap. Rohit time and again coming up, but then the touch, that quality delivery is missing.
That's a lot of times the biggest problem. First touch. That first ball needs to be perfect. And the man I was just talking about again, he was doing that run between Krizo and Lomba. Ended up almost as a centre back, Issa. But it's these little moments as a team that make a difference. And I see not enough link-up play in between the NEROCA players. You see that Taruk is almost coming to get the ball in between the centre backs to receive that ball, but 5-6 players already around the NEROCA players, and still the ball is on your own half. It's just not quick enough. The movements are not quick enough. The passing is not there. There is no player running into the space. You see a space next to Issa and Lomba, and no one is running into that space at the moment. It's just all a little bit too slow from NEROCA out.
Well, rightly so. And here's Tangva. Okay, not enough for quality with that touch too, just losing out. But then late in the game, and now Gamba, 84 minutes, struggling to Tarak. How deep has he dropped? It seems like they've pushed everyone forward right now. They just want to try a few things, just play those balls forward. Tarak.
But you see that the midfielders were almost playing on one line. You had Taruk, you had the two other midfielders. Now again, 4 players on one line. You cannot play around the midfield like that. You need to find your triangles, you need to find your spaces. And they are not doing that because they're just too static at the moment.
And that's once again good officiating from Mithun Kumar Kundu, if I'm not mistaken, because that looked like shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. And there's another battle going on. David Simbu against Krizo. Safer option, back to the keeper. Just not finding anything positive in NEROCA.
Even 5 minutes before the end, you still see Krizo doing these runs over there, not letting them go over halfway. And they are still struggling with the same way of play, with the same way of moving forward. Look how many blues are already on the defensive part. They know they can play that ball to Krizo, and this can be another opportunity.
But the shot is blocked, and for a moment it seemed like he's through on goal. Oh, what a chance again.
Again, the ball came from a recovery onside their own half. First pass to Krizo. Krizo turns around, sees the player running around him, plays that ball in, and immediately it's dangerous again. Right now, NEROCA is just not finding the opportunities, not finding the solutions. And we see the player I was talking about, Issa, coming off, played a wonderful game.
So 2 players on for Real Kashmir, and both the wingers, or rather that's how they were named, but Kamal Issa and Asrar Rabar. What a game he has had. Asrar Rabar scored a goal, assisted once, both times Krizo on it as well. But very, very promising. There you see the way he scored, and a good finish as well from Asrar, just with the outside of the boot. And the substitutions who have come on, it's Muhammad Maqsood from Lebanon, who has replaced Kamalisa, and along with him in comes Ramtina. Real Kashmir in possession again. First touch, not really great introduction, but he sure has the quality, and he will be looking to impress his coach too. He wants to get that spot difficult. The way Kamalisa has performed, you can only have 4 of the foreign players on the pitch. Throwing, taken quickly. There's one thing that Heather Yusuf has to learn. You do not really want to give that ball to your opponent that way and wait. Just for a moment, that right back spot was blank. And now Maqsood. looking to get it back from Krizo, whose touches have been inch perfect today. And now Maqsood, his touch was not really the same. Talva has that control, but then spark is missing. It's a team game. You cannot really expect too much from an individual, and he's still young. He's not like an experienced player coming on and just changing things for NEROCA.
And one of the substitutions of Kashmir, Maqsood, indeed from Lebanon, has played for one of the big clubs in Lebanon Premier League, which is Tripoli. If you can bring in a player with his experience, even as a substitute, then you see what kind of team that Real Kashmir has. You put these kind of players on the side, you can bring them in afterwards, they can change the game even if it's not necessary at the moment. But he played there, very tough team, very tough competition also. So that's where you see that the strength of the bench of Kashmir is right now who can make the difference in the upcoming games.
They have to try and try. Giving up is not an option for NEROCA. Ronaldo. And now Nangamba. Can they even get a consolation just to help their confidence? Just to make sure they have a little bit of a motivation going forward into the next match. He's coming back from an offside position. Rohit Mete again, he is offside. 3 offsides for NEROCA. That's one thing which shows that they have tried a little more in the second half, but all those tries have just been mere tries. 6 additional minutes. And that is a good amount of time, but then not enough, not at all enough for the way they've been playing to pull 3 back.
So at the moment, let's see here, good cross, maybe a good opportunity.
Is that a back pass? That's what they're appealing for. Looked like a clearance from Haider Yusuf. We'll have a look at that again. Sharp attack. Was that a back pass?
I don't think it was about a back pass, but I think they were shouting for a handball here, which seems on the image that it could have been a handball, but sometimes those moments are so quick that it's difficult for a referee to actually see if he touched it with his arm or not. So it was a hand appeal that they were shouting for. If we just quickly look at the league table also, I think right now we can say that NEROCA will not win this game. Wayne Vaz is most probably going to come on. NEROCA stays on position 10, even with a 3-0 loss right now, having played 6 matches, scored 5, conceded 16 minus 11, and are on the same as Namdari.
Now a shot from distance, that's ballooned. That's almost rocket launched. But then you were saying about the goal difference for NEROCA, and that is the second worst in the league after Trau. And this makes it a little more worse, but still the second worst. Maqsood trying to get onto it. The Lebanese international. Maqsood taking him on. Still in control. They wouldn't mind that, just running down a few seconds as well near that corner flag, and Talva comes in the way. Delayed the clearance. Should have played it earlier, and now they'll get it back. Krizo. There's a chance, a little bit of it opening up, and Lomba with the shot, but didn't find any connection as such, and Krizo goes down again.
Thinking that Jewel got hit a little bit in the stomach, but he seems okay at the moment because he's already talking to the referee. Was a little bit of a turnaround, not really a foul onto him. He will have felt that, I'm sure, but it's not good enough to get a foul there.
There's Ramdina, the substitute, getting involved here. Ramdina with a little turn. Dion played it forward, but it was offside. seemed to be Tariq Amir, who was in that offside position. They've been allowed the freedom now just to go and express themselves with the substitutions.
And then we've seen that NEROCA had changed at the beginning of the match, at the beginning of the second half. They made some changes, as it is happening here right now. Also, Wayne Vaz is coming on for Lomba, who played also a fantastic game. Wonderful defensive midfielder, always tries to exact that ball to him. And Wayne Vaz, who also played in some of the teams here in Kolkata already before, going to ISL and now coming to Real Kashmir.
He's been playing for Churchill Brothers as well before that for a time being. Another attack meanwhile running in the box. The angle acute and the shot is on target. And that is a job done clinically. And who is on the score sheet? It seems to be Maqsood. We'll have a look at that again. But again, a beautifully constructed move on the ground is Sorum Paire in despair. Helpless, and helplessly NEROCA have to settle with no points again.
It makes a big difference in attacking the receiving these passes. Good pass. You see Maqsood who keeps running to still think about an opportunity. Good pass backwards from Adnan, sees the opportunity of Maqsood and he just has to pull. Krizo also did a fantastic run there. He runs to the first post, then there is an opportunity behind him for Maqsood to run in. Adnan saw that. 4-0 at the moment, and NEROCA in big trouble.
Positives for Real Kashmir. Ishfaq will be happy. His bench is somewhat ready, can be said, too early to say. But then Maqsood and the substitutes, all of them combining. Adnan with the cross, I believe he's got an assist. Maqsood has got a goal. That's how easy it's turning to be. Ramdina now, 6 minutes additional time, almost done. Just a few seconds. And you were saying about Wayne Vaz, generally habituated seeing him as a centre-back as well. In the new role here, he's doing well as a defensive midfielder. But some rest for Carlos Lomba. Put in a shift, does his job, and gets his team 3 more points away from home.
Yes, Carlos Lomba, together with other foreigners at Real Kashmir, have shown the strength and the ability to win their games. And of course, it's not just the foreigners who had to do it. There was almost a miscommunication here. Goalkeeper is not happy, which I fully understand, because he demanded the ball, and in the meantime it is finished with a 4-0 win for Kashmir against NEROCA.
Well, finished, and finished in style. Real Kashmir with 4 goals here against NEROCA, and Real Kashmir will be very, very happy that they have compensated for that 1 home loss, and now they can go back home. They can get the confidence back. They can work before their upcoming tough tests, and they are rising up the table as well to 5th position, or maybe depending on the other teams playing out next, maybe 6th, but then better from where they were right now. Clinical performance, all 3 points.
The final score is NEROCA FC 0.
And there's the stats at full time. 54% possession for Real Kashmir, 46 for NEROCA. They improved on that a bit. 18 shots, 7 on target from Real Kashmir. Only 6 shots, 1 of which on target. That too in the first half, a long while ago. 7 corners from Real Kashmir to just 1 from NEROCA. Clear differences.
Yeah, clear difference indeed between a team who right now moved up the table, even direction 4th position, and a team who is at the moment at the bottom, fighting against relegation, because yes, there's only 6 matches done, but already they need to start thinking what's happening behind them.
Very bad start, and that is sometimes difficult. And 18 shots, there's the shot map for Real Kashmir. We saw the NEROCA shot map a moment ago. Before this, Krizo with 5 of them leading that stat. Isa with 3, Haider Yusuf, Shaheen, Asrar, everyone getting attempts. Ayub as well coming on and getting 1 attempt. Maksud getting the goal too. 10 fouls, Ronaldo. Not really some offensive contributions. Nankamba with 2 fouls. Substitutes. All of them a little cagey in that midfield. More of clearances, more of tackles. Nothing positive to take from. Any positives, Steve, for NEROCA to take from this?
It's very difficult after 4-0 loss again to put too much positives. I didn't really see any big opportunities except one that they had. The play is a bit too slow. I think it's very quick, very difficult for them at the moment. They will have to adjust certain things to do better.
Well, certain things and a lot of things to do better, but there's how. The game was played in the first half. Straight away intent shown by Real Kashmir. First one not converted, and then soon that flick from Krizo. And how cute of a finish that from Asrar Rahbar. A few attempts from NEROCA, one from distance, and then soon they got their second with that finish from Krizo.
Got a second, Krizo, the man of the match that I talked about almost the whole game. Good deflections, good moments, and this was one of the biggest opportunities for NEROCA in the whole game. It was just not enough. We see again Krizo turning away, good pass in between, just a bit too hard.
Well, if that would have gone in for NEROCA, it could have been a different game. That's why you need to take your moments, and there was a little move being constructed between Tangva. Most of the clips you'll see him involved, but then not really the best of games, to be honest.
Here again Krizo with a one-on-one situation and a good shot. Another opportunity for NEROCA. This was another close call. But here, Isa, someone that I said was that perfect link in between midfield and Krizo. Good pass again. And a shot and a goal from Jeremy.
And there were a few more chances. Krizo with that attempt took everyone by surprise. Such technique in that, and at this moment there were appeals for handball, but to vain. But we had another goal late. He played the pass and he got it back as well. Maksud, the Lebanese international, coming on in the game late and sealing the deal for Real Kashmir. And that is all from match number 35 in the I-League. And full 3 points for Real Kashmir. And the scoreline at full time, it's NEROCA FC 0 and Real Kashmir FC 4. Well, thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the game and hope to see you again soon.